Welcome to the abbreviated version on this National Running Day of Living the Run. I'm Rex Stevens, co-host Olympian Paul Tarek out, but who will be in right now? We're getting right to it. Is one of our favorite guests on this show. Been on lots of times. In lieu of the Stanley Cup going on right now, he's pulled away from the game. He is AJ Toews, scout of the Washington Capitals. AJ, I got to say this right off the bat, man. After this fiasco first half hour of the show, man, you made a run at radio way back. How long before the producers pulled the plug on you, you had to join makeshift shows like this in your in your future?
Hey, you know what? It happens to even the greatest, and I'm probably not going to get a brick on this one, but hey, it's routine, right?
It is routine. You know, I gotta say, you know, thanks for being patient. You know, we're coming up on the hockey. You know, hockey, as you know, we've talked about before. ESPN doesn't have a litany of coverage on this stuff. We tend to focus on the other big three sports, but you know, we're coming down to the wire, and I think the LA Kings have gotten people's attention, winning 3 Game 7s on the road. Coming at you, looking at it as a scout, you know, I know you're assessing talent regularly. You're looking at physical attributes. You're looking at possibilities of growth. But this mindset thing, this ability to go in on the road, win Game 7s, as a scout, what can parents be doing with their kids, trying to get them to understand that defeat isn't the end of the world, that going into a hostile environment somewhere else doesn't have to mean that they're going to lose? How do we get to these kids and get these mindsets to change so that they can have results like we're seeing from the LA Kings?
Oh boy, that's talk about a loaded question, man. You just right out the gate, just fully loaded. No, that's a great question, and I think the biggest thing, as you just kind of were getting at it, is that there's an overemphasis. It seems to be right now. There's an overemphasis on winning, especially at young levels. I really think there's an overemphasis as well on the physical components of the game. You know, everybody likes to be bigger and stronger and faster. And, you know, there's a litany of gyms across the country that do this stuff and will charge you $5,000 for the summer and promise to make you jump higher and run faster and skate faster and all that kind of stuff. I don't think we give a lot of time to the mental side of the game. And I think, honestly, a lot of it doesn't even come from necessarily playing games. It's an approach that you have in life. It's an approach that you have in a classroom. You know, it's not whether you're getting your A's and B's, but are you trying? Are you putting in that effort? Are you giving it your best? Are you giving yourself the best chance to succeed in all kind of facets of life? And I think that stuff spills over into sports. And but even at the sports level, I just don't think coaches, especially at the youth level, I don't think they emphasize it enough.
You know, how much of the emphasis is on fun, you know, out there? I think one of the things that you as a parent, myself as a parent, we look at our kids and we say, hey, are they having any fun? We often talk about it with career, too. We say, geez, if you're not having any fun, looking for that pension 30 years down the road it's gonna look like a long, long way. I always liked Thoreau's definition, said if you advance confidently in the direction of your dreams and endeavor to live the life you have imagined, you will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. How much of that are we seeing out there? What do we have to do to get that motivation such that a kid says, man, I just love being out here. I want to be out here. It is my thing. Got to play into that confidence factor and being able to go in and win games on the road.
No question. I mean, and there's this, sport has taken such a large part in life, and there's so much money involved, and unfortunately, the very people who should be able to look at a sport and look at a situation and do what's best for their kids are the ones that are pushing them and creating these non-fun environments, and especially at an early age. I mean, I'm working with my daughter right now in T-ball, and it's funny, I can see parents on the sidelines, and some of them get it. Some of them are just like, hey, you know what? If they put the glove on the right mitt, we're happy. Like, whatever else happens, as long as they're having some fun. and you can see the other ones, and you can see the ones that are too serious, and they're yelling at their kids, "Go get in front of that thing!" And it's like they can't even catch the ball. Like, why would they get in front of it if it's rolling to them or bouncing out? They're not like, we're just trying to make them not hate this sport at this point, and have something happen where they're terrified and don't want to return next year. So like you were saying, it's just a sad part. I know we've talked about this on the show before. It's just a sad part of how sports have just kind of taken a life all its own, and the parents. It's just really important that the parents, the parents and the parents that are coaching, that they keep stuff in perspective and do what's best for the kids. And early ages, I mean, shoot, you want to have fun when you're an adult, right? Like, you don't want to be all business and working. And
no question about it. I look at again, talking to AJ Toews, scout for the Washington Capitals. I look at the coach for the Kings. This guy is a master with words. He talks so often. It reminds me a little bit of what Tiger Woods used to do, where he would get on a hole. He'd have a bad hole. They'd ask him about the bad hole, and he'd talk about the 3 good holes that he had where he saved things. The Kings coach seems to do the same thing, where he regularly in each series talks about how well his team has played, or potentially even suggests that it was their best game when they lose. I love that factor. Looking at these two teams, New York struggling to get in but making a big run. They got the hot goalie. Who's got the mental edge in this series?
You know what? For me, it's the Kings. In watching the two teams, I mean, they're both talented teams, both with outstanding goalies that can steal games and aren't going to lose many games for you. I've been so impressed watching LA going back to their last Cup run. They just don't change. Their style's the same. They play the same whether they're winning or losing, whether they're up 3 or down 2. Their style just doesn't change what they do on the ice. And it's funny you mentioned the coach for the Kings. I know we talked a little while back we were talking about athletes in sports and in hockey, how and really in all sports, how the specification of sports is maybe not creating the best players and the best athletes. Well, the guy that I quoted in there was Daryl Sutter's brother, who coaches up in Red Deer, and Daryl Sutter is one of, I believe, 6 brothers who at one point all 6 were playing in the NHL. If you can believe that. And he grew up on a farm in Saskatchewan. They all worked. They all got up early and did farming duties for the family farm, and they weren't playing hockey year round. And he's got a really cool. I agree. His press conferences are epic. I don't think he's a huge fan of the media and the questions that get thrown his way.
Hey, diversified physically, but especially diversified mentally, and I think that you're seeing that hold true in his players. Real quick, unfortunately, abbreviated version means abbreviated interview here on Living the Run. But hey, man, I want to ask you this. People talk about the health all the time. Concussions are back in the news. Dan Marino in, Dan Marino out to the NFL, a whole legal battle. We see it in hockey as well. Your approach, you got 3 daughters, probably one more on the way. If the girls want to play hockey, certainly it's getting more popular in the female ranks. You're seeing it get more and more physical. Any thoughts, concerns on your end as a parent now, former player but now parent, among kids that might want to put on the skates?
Do I have any hesitation?
Yeah, any hesitation?
None. No hesitation.
No hesitation.
None. It's for me, for one, the women's game's a little different. But even if I had 3 boys, I'd still have no hesitation with them playing. I think with the knowledge, at least with the concussion thing coming to light now, I think parents are a little more aware. I think coaches are. I think there's just better awareness in general. You're not going to be able to avoid it. I mean, unless you want to play touch football, you want to play no-check hockey. I mean, with checks, there's going to be mistakes, and with mistakes, there's going to be potential concussions. But I think certain guys are prone to them, and and get them more often than other guys. And I think that's even going to be a factor, as we move forward. I mean, I think there's certain guys that are going to maybe steer clear of. I don't know how they're going to find that out, but it definitely seems that certain guys are more prone to things. But I wouldn't hesitate with my kids. Like we've talked before, as a parent, you know your kid, and you got to watch your kid. You can't expect a coach. Can't expect the coach to do it, and or anybody else.
Yeah.
It's got to be on you as a parent.
Yeah, and as we said before, you want your kids to have fun. If your kids live, breathe, and die hockey, let them play. You certainly don't want to squash their spirit. By
any sport you play, just about, right? Any sport you play, there's a risk of certain injuries, and a concussion's one of some injuries you can get. And like you would with other things, you try to teach kids how to check properly and how to absorb checks properly, and hopefully they can do as best as they can and avoid getting those. But in contact sports, it's going to be pretty hard to eliminate it without eliminating all contact.
No question. Hey, love having you on, man. Sorry for the abbreviated version. I'm hoping as you kind of exited out of radio, I'm not making my exit anytime too soon. We'll be able to do this again.
I'm around, man. We got sun in Minnesota. Things are good.
Awesome stuff. Enjoy the series, man. Thanks for coming on.
All right, Rex. Thanks, man.
AJ Toews, always fun. Always good insights from him. He's seen a lot of those kids. Love that stuff. Hey, guys, no abbreviated show, but National Running Day, we're going to have Heather Mora on next. Wife of Jamie Mora. We had him on last week, Jameson Mora. Outstanding marathon. He helped his wife start her first marathon. She's going to encourage you, especially all those you sitting on the fence wanting, hey, what race should I enter and how do I approach it? A lot of good stuff from Heather Mora right here on Living the Run next.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
Hey guys, Paul Tarek from Living the Run here. As a former Olympian, there is only one place myself and fellow athletes go when it comes to chiropractic care on the Central Coast. With 4 chiropractors in the clinic, Slow Wellness Center is the largest, most comprehensive group of docs in San Luis Obispo County. I began seeing Dr. Rex Stevens back in 2005 for spinal adjustments to help maximize my performance, minimize my injury, and allow me to compete at my best. When the difference between a win and a loss can be just a fraction of an inch, perfect alignment in all joints is essential. One of the great things about the team at Slow Wellness is no matter where I had an issue, whether it was my spine, my foot, knee, wrist, or shoulder, they were always able to help. This team, made up of Dr. Rex and Molly Stevens, Dr. Sachs, and Dr. Bandolo, is sure to help you reach your health and fitness goals too. If it's chiropractic care you need, go where I go, Slow Wellness Center. Check them out at slowwellness.com or call 543-8688.
Hey everyone, Eric Fiallo here from leftlanesports.com. Are you tired of paying full retail on your favorite outdoor and endurance brands? Well, whether you run, bike, swim, hike, climb, or surf, leftlanesports.com has got you covered. Save 50 to 70% off retail every day on brands like Under Armour, Asics, New Balance, Timex, Hurley, Patagonia, and more. Visit leftlanesports.com and sign up for a free membership. Plus, save on shipping by picking up your order at our headquarters in San Luis Obispo. leftlanesports.com. Gear you need, prices you want, service you deserve.
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
Arts Cyclery wants to invite everyone to join the celebration. Arts has just been voted the best bike shop in San Luis Obispo County for the 22nd year in a row. To celebrate, Arts has great pricing across the whole store and specials like free gloves with any Castelli jersey or short purchase, free laser sunglasses with the purchase of any laser helmet, plus so much more. So come down to Art Cyclery at 181 Suburban Road and celebrate with great service, massive selection, and prices that will not be beat. Offers good while supplies last.
Did you know that many people endure aches and pains in their feet, legs, and back, but few recognize the solution for some of the more common causes are as simple as a more supportive and comfortable insole? At Cadence Insoles, we understand the insole in your shoe provides the first line of support and comfort for your feet. Designed by physical therapists and recommended by podiatrists, Cadence Insoles provide the elusive combination of orthotic support with the shock-absorbing comfort of an insole. A local business? Visit cadenceinsoles.com for more information. Cadence Insoles, support made comfortable.
We're back with Living the Run.
Welcome back. This abridged version of Living the Run here on National Running Day. Guys, if you haven't got your run in, there's still sunlight out there. Nice, beautiful day. Get out, get the kicks on, and get a little jog on. Hey, our next guest, she got her jog on, and it was a long one for the first time. She is Heather Mora, first-time marathoner, mother of two, and married to last week's guest, guys. If you haven't listened to the interview, check them out on Facebook.com/LivingTheRun. We put those podcasts up there. Heather, you finished your first marathon, first one ever. You got two kids, one under a year old. The question always for a first-time marathoner is, will there be a second?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. You know, you guys went in. I know there was talk about running an 8-minute pace or so, going out a little slower, and then seeing what was there, potentially even getting into Boston qualifying times. You know, we had 3 guys in here last week that had thought about that on their first marathon too. When did you realize, and when did you say, hey, you know what, I'm going to scale back on this first one, I'm going to enjoy it and keep that pace back and just kind of slow it down a little bit?
Yeah, when we got down to San Diego and it was upwards of 70 degrees at, 6 o'clock in the morning, we figured it was not going to be ideal conditions by any sense. Usually marathons you want to run in the low 50s, So yeah, we decided that, with the heat and being that it is a tough course, that it would be better just to complete it and have a good experience than go out and, risk being carnage on the side of the road at the end. So
no question about that. When the heat turns up, you got to slow it down for sure. It's an energy zapper. You don't have a history of running competitively. I think this is kind of a neat story. You weren't back a collegiate track athlete like your husband or a high school track athlete. You started to get into running. You've had 2 kids since, but you've still been able to manage. How do you manage as a mom? I think you kind of said to me, maybe you've run the most miles of anybody with a double bob stroller. Talk about, how you stay committed to it and what running's meant to you.
Well, I think that how you stay committed, I think signing up for the race is the big deal. I can't imagine getting out there and running for an hour, or really just working out at all, if you don't have a goal. If the goal is just to lose the baby weight or whatever, you can find a reason to not do that. But if the goal is, hey, I'm going to run a marathon in 6 weeks or whatever, then you're going to keep getting up and like you said, lacing up the shoes and stuff. So I think you have to have a motivation that's bigger than what size your pants are or whatever, So
I like what you said there. Put something on the calendar. We've said that before. You get something on the calendar.
Yeah.
You got something to motivate for. I've talked to you guys before, and this idea of balance. Oftentimes people say, hey, when you're training for a marathon, it's too many hours. It takes dad away. It takes mom away from the family. You guys, it seems that the running is bringing you together. Kind of share about that experience, because it's such a neat thing that physical fitness and physical activity actually drawing you guys closer, reducing stressors rather than increasing it.
Oh, yeah. For one, my husband's passion for running isn't going anywhere. So I was, got to get on board. And I mean that. I think it's important to embrace what your spouse is passionate about and not just tolerate it, but embrace it. And so in that sense, there's that. And then as far as the girls go, they love it. They do their little races too. And, Elizabeth knows that she wears Sauconys just like Molly Huddle does. And, she's into it, so they love it. And, are they always loving being in the stroller every morning? No, of course there's hard mornings, but in general, it gets us outside and it's something we do together. We go and we do the races and they do their Kitty K and we do the 5K and it's our family bonding time. So, everyone has a hobby and ours, we're happy is one that keeps us healthy. So
incredible pace for you. You first marathon, 150th out of 2,200 women. Good start. What's the next one on the calendar then?
Well, I want to do one that's fast and flat and cool. So maybe CIM in December, maybe wait until, next, I don't know. We'll see. But I would be happy to maybe do CAM up in Sacramento in December. So we'll see.
Hey, I appreciate you being patient with us. Had a couple glitches in the show. Brilliant stuff from you and the family. And thanks for coming on. I just think for so many people, what you guys are standing for, of one, doing stuff that you like, two, doing stuff as a family, and three, being conscious of your own stressors and understanding, hey, bringing this balance together is a big deal. And I tell you, Heather, looking at the way Jameson is talking about you running, I think he's as passionate about you running as he is yourself. I've never seen a guy that happy for his wife and that excited about what you guys were going to do last weekend. Nice job to both of you.
Thanks so much.
Good to have you on. Heather Mora, phenomenal stuff. Her and her husband. And just to throw it out there, Jameson, he ran as well. Just threw in a nice 2:27 for him. Leisurely stroll for Jameson Mora. What a fast guy. Fast couple and fun people. Guys, you can be training, you can be working out, reducing stress, and having a lot of fun together. What a great example from Jameson and Heather Mora. Thanks to them for coming on. Thanks to my guest, AJ Toews, scout for the Washington Capitals, for coming on as well. Guys, next week from 6 to 7 o'clock, we'll meet right here on ESPN 1280 The Ticket. We say live healthy, live bold. Every day, guys, live the run.